like to welcome all of you to the Government Printing Office. My name is Bob Tapella, and I'm the public printer. Thank you for coming. This day marks the beginning of our sesquicentennial celebration. And apparently there are quite a few people interested in this. Now I'd like to begin by recognizing a few of our guests who have joined us today. First, Don Ritchie, the Senate historian. Don? Ray Mosley, the director of the Office of the Federal Register, and Amy Bunk and Jim Hemphill on his staff. Walter Villagomez with the Office of the Clerk of the House. Bert Simon, the chair of the Interagency Council on Printing and Publication Services. Matt McGowan from the Senate Rules and Administration Committee, as well as the Joint Committee on Printing. Matt. Mary Alice Bache, the Association of American Law Libraries. And Joanne Shu. She's a librarian at the Department of Justice, and she coordinates the Department of Justice Legislative History Digitization Project, and she is also shadowing the Archivist of the United States today. Joanne? I would like to welcome all of the GPO retirees. Now, I know I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm going to recognize a couple of them. And whenever I do that, I get in trouble, but that's okay. I'm still going to do it. Wayne Kelly, former Superintendent of Documents. Lois Schutte, former Director of Personnel. Jeff Bernazzoli, former Production Manager. Berkey Boggs, former Production Manager. Spurgeon Johnson, former Superintendent of Departmental Account Representatives and Customer Service. Well, Spurgeon, you still have a following, huh? John Sapp, former Superintendent of Typography and Design, T&D. Chuck Enterline, former Superintendent of Binding. And I understand that John Crawford grew up under Chuck Enterline. Charlie Cook, former Superintendent of Congressional Printing. And Ray Garvey, former Director of Administrative Support. Now, I had planned at this point to invite all retirees to stand, but it looks like 3/4 of the crowd is already standing. So how about if you are a retiree, just wave your hand. Now, just about all areas of GPO are represented today by our employees, except the night side and regional operations. But we'll be repeating this program tonight at 11 p.m. for anyone that would like to come back. Well, some of you retirees that were on the third shift, come on. And we are also doing a live feed over the internet for our regional operations as well as anyone in the public. However, I did learn, and I'm surprised it's not on the big screen, is the World Cup game USA versus Algeria started at 10 a.m. Now, employees are the backbone of the government printing office, and so would all current employees please wave your hand? So, are we equally split between retirees and employees, it looks like? No? More what, employees? Now, there are so many of us that think of the government printing office as a family, and our industry, the printing industry, is very much a family business. Now, GPO is no different. In many cases, we have had many generations of the same family here. So, anyone, employees and retirees alike, if you have a relative who did or does work at the GPO, please raise your hand. Wow. Now, we are kicking off our sesquicentennial, and to do that, we have had a committee that has been working on the 150th anniversary project, and I'd like to recognize them now. Mike Abramson. Mike, raise your hand. George Barnum, the GPO historian. Jeff Brook, Employee Communications. Jim Cameron, who was GPO's first official historian and plans to retire this year after 32 years. Jim. Dean Gardai. George Lord. Yolanda Johnson. Oksana Pazda. Casey Clark-Radigan. Andy Sherman. Gary Somerset. Beth Van Telfer. And Emma Weidowitz. Thank you for all the work you've done so far, and I know this coming year is going to be a lot more.